It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the third day of September 2024. Before we get started, to bring you up on things, you may hear some noise in the background. They finally are here to install my new hot water tank. So it's a little noisy, so you probably can hear some of that. You may hear some of it as we go through the show today. The other thing, after feeling so good yesterday morning, by yesterday afternoon and last evening, the voice was gone again. And you can probably hear I'm a little hoarse, sore throat again this morning, and coughing. So I'm clearly not out of the woods yet on this whole mess. But anyway, welcome to today's Travel and Cruise Industry News and Podcast, brought to you by chilliescruises and Will, U.S., owner of Scoot Around. Lead story this morning is whale zone restrictions for the Joy. Also today, Bliss 2025 Alaska cruise canceled. Carnival addresses vaping. Oasis concert and cruise. AIDA opens state-of-the-art command center. Coast Guard Medevacs a crew member. A weather update and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Welsh Rabbit Day. And no, Emily, that has nothing to do with rabbits. Welsh rarebit, I mean, there's a long story about how it ever got created, but it's actually like cheesy toast. I never have understood the name. But anyway, it's Welsh Rarebit Day. All right, if you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Hopefully the Fat Travel Guy will pop up and feel better soon. I'm getting really depressed and tired of this business. All right, most of you know that as of this morning, I was supposed to be in Richmond at the train station at dark 30. So I'm not, needless to say. Cindy doesn't seem to be particularly happy about being at the train station at dark 30 either. It looks like she's about ready to kill Hot Air Tom and is a little angered at him. But that's Cindy. That's my Cindy. I love her to death. That's anyway. That's a great look for 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it was. That's looks like a pretty barren train station to me. And that looks like a pretty empty train station to me as well. And that looks like a pretty empty train track to me. I hope that damn train showed up sometime. And then, of course, Hot Air Tom is going to meet up with the person that stole my identity. Well, he stole my security picture. That's all the Kenneth's information, my picture on the old picture, my old Amtrak picture. Anyway, I'm certainly sorry that I'm not there to be going on this cruise and on the Gem from Boston to Quebec and Quebec back to Boston. And if I ever get rid of this crud, I am going to go to Richmond and get on the train at this time in the morning, or when they did it today, and take the train to meet Hot Air Tom when he gets back to Boston. And we're going to try to put the finishing touches on what was going to be a month of traveling together. So that's what's ahead for me. All right, I'll be back with today's news after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. And the top story this morning, folks, comes from Norwegian. The very first voyage of the 2025 Alaska sailing season on the Norwegian Bliss has been canceled. The impacted voyage is a coveted 10-night sailing that was to have departed from Seattle on April the 2nd, 2025, with calls to Ketchikan, Sitka, Icy Strait Point, Skagway, Juneau, and Victoria, as well as cruising the scenic Glacier Bay. Fleet redeployment is used to explain the cancellation. To be clear, Norwegian Bliss will be sailing her 2025 Alaska season, but that season will now begin with the second scheduled departure on April the 12th, 2025. While cigarette smoking is falling dramatically in recent decades, vaping is definitely increasing, especially for younger users. This has led to some discussion and even controversy as to whether vaping and smoking are equivalent and if they should be treated equivalently on board cruise ships. Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Heald has been questioned on the issue, with one vape user especially irate that the two types of inhaled products are treated equally by the cruise line. We are sick of being treated like third-class cruisers. Heald responds that vaping and smoking of any time will continue to be treated the same on board all Carnival cruise ships, and travelers must use vaping products only in the designated areas. From a personal perspective, I've been free of smoke now for 12 years. I still hate to roll through the smoking areas on a cruise ship, especially in the casinos. I don't want to be around smoke of any kind, whether it's regular smoke or vape smoke. In today's weather, once again today, the Pacific is completely clear, but we do have to take a quick look at three systems in the Atlantic. First, over toward the Caribbean Sea, a tropical wave is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms over Hispaniola and portions of the central Caribbean Sea. System is expected to move westward, and a tropical depression could form when it reaches the western Caribbean and the southwestern Gulf of Mexico late this week or this weekend. Formation is low over the next 48 hours, but then it jumps up to 40% over the next 7 days. Now go all the way to the east. In the East Tropical Atlantic, a tropical wave over the far eastern Atlantic is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are forecast to become a little more conducive for development, and a tropical depression could form later this week while the disturbance moves slowly west-northwestward or northwestward over the eastern tropical Atlantic. We're only talking about 10% chance in the next 48 hours, 40% chance over the next 7 days. It should cause some heavy rains and gusty winds across the Cabo Verde Islands. And finally, the central tropical Atlantic, another wave located about midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles, is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development is possible during the next couple of days while the system moves west-northwestward. By the end of the week, however, environmental conditions should become unfavorable for additional development. So very little chance, 10% over the next 48 hours, 10% over the next 7 days. So that's the weather for today.
Don't let your mobility challenges affect your upcoming Hawaii cruise. Honolulu is a city steeped in history and natural beauty, Whether you're relaxing on the beach at Waikiki or exploring the city's Royal Pass, a scooter or wheelchair rental can help you stay comfortable and mobile. All Honolulu mobility rentals are 10% off until September 30th, 2024. Call Scootaround toll-free 888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code Honolulu10 or SRN 11137 for the best rates.
When the famously feuding brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher of the critically acclaimed band Oasis surprised the world by announcing that they would be returning together for a tour in 2025, Royal Caribbean didn't want passengers to miss out on their chance at securing tickets for the highly anticipated event. After 15 years of not touring together, the Oasis Live 25 tour, which will kick off July the 4th, 2025, in Cardiff, Wales, released tickets on August 31st. Royal Caribbean marketers had some promotional fun with the ship's similar name, concocting a plan to ensure Oasis fans had a chance to buy tickets. The 5,606 passengers on Oasis of the Seas was enjoying a day at sea the day tickets went on sale, so Royal Caribbean opened its Wi-Fi services for free to all passengers. By the time they arrived in Barcelona on September 1st, guests knew if they were going to see the show and didn't have to miss out on being on a cruise. AIDA Cruises has just flipped the switch on its new fleet operations center in Hamburg's Hafen City. The new high-tech command center is now ready to keep the fleet's 31 ships on course. The newly revamped center, opened on September 2nd, is now the most advanced of its kind in Germany. It provides 24/7 support to cruise ships under AIDA and other Carnival Corporation European brands. Utilizing cutting-edge, high-tech digital technology to monitor speed, weather, navigation, and technical data from engine rooms in near real time, the center's advanced monitoring allows ship crews to utilize fuel and energy consumption, reduce emissions, and manage logistics more effectively across over 250 global ports. When passengers setting sail aboard Norwegian Joy on September 2nd arrived at the cruise terminal and when boarding the ship in New York, they were informed of 2 port time adjustments for their 8-night one-way trip to Quebec City. While we made every effort to maintain the original itinerary, due to whale zone speed restrictions en route from New York City to Boston, we have adjusted the itinerary, the notification letter read. When the ship's 3 p.m. departure from New York was not impacted, it is now necessary for Norwegian Joy to sail more slowly, which impacts when she will reach Boston as well as her next port of call in Portland. Originally, the ship was to spend Tuesday, September the 3rd, that's today, in Boston from 1:30 to 10. Now, however, the ship will not arrive till 4 p.m. this afternoon, but will stay an extra hour until 11 p.m. to attempt to recover some of the time lost earlier today. Because Norwegian Joy will now be leaving Boston later than planned, her next port of call is also adjusted. The ship was to have been in Portland from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Now the time in Portland is shifted 1 hour later from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. She will still arrive in Quebec City as per the original schedule. That was supposed to be the lead story, folks. Oops. Italian reports indicate that MSC Cruises and Meyer Turku Shipyard in Finland are in advanced discussions regarding the construction of a new ultimate class of cruise ships. These vessels are poised to potentially become the largest cruise ships globally,
surpassing Royal Caribbean's current record holder. The proposed ships may reach a tonnage of 270,000 gross tons. That's 8% larger than Icon of the Seas. The project would mark a significant milestone for Meyer Turku, representing its first collaboration with MSC Cruises. Traditionally, MSC has commissioned vessels from Chantier de l'Atlantique in France or Fincantieri in Italy. Securing this order could position Meyer Turku as the leading builder of mega cruise ships, particularly as it recently received an order from Royal Caribbean for another Icon-class vessel. The Coast Guard medevaced a 26-year-old woman off Navigator of the Seas, approximately 30 miles west of San Diego. The woman had lower abdominal pains. A Coast Guard air station, San Diego MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter aircrew conducted the medevac. The aircrew arrived on scene, hoisted the woman aboard the helicopter, and transported her to awaiting emergency services personnel at Coast Guard Air Station, San Diego. The woman was taken to Hillcrest Medical Center at the University of California, San Diego, where she was last reported in stable condition. We wish the crew member a swift and full recovery, hoping she can soon regain her strength and join her colleagues. Our thoughts are with her, and we send our warm wishes for her health. All right, guys, there's been a major upgrade to our website. I say our, Nate's and my, it's Nate's website that I'm now part of. But he's added a section of travel with us. So it's kind of a spinoff from the cruising with Chillie and travel with Nate. And we've combined the two together on the website. There's been some major upgrades to it. So if you notice, crawling across the bottom of the screen is check out the new and improved website at bookayt.net. Now, AYT, that's Alaska Yukon Tours, which of course is Nate's base company. So check it out, folks. There's some neat sections, not only the traveling with both of us, but also a section just for solo cruises. And we'll be adding to that and upgrading it daily. So today's special, and this has just happened, it's coincidental because this came from Nate, from one of Nate's cruises. Just coincidental that it's MSC 2 days in a row for the solo cruise deal. And it's also coincidental that it has both the solo pricing and the regular pricing. But this is a Bahamas cruise on the Magnifica, sailing September 16th, 5 days and 4 nights with an overnight at Ocean Key, very similar to yesterday's cruise. Sails from Miami, overnight in Ocean Key, then goes to Nassau and back to Miami. Special pricing. This is exclusive pricing from MSC. Join Nate after a very busy and long Alaska season on this midweek Bahamas cruise from Miami. Prices include all taxes, fees, and agency handling charge. Solo prices inside $152, Ocean View $227, balcony $302. Double occupancy pricing is $125 per person for inside, $175 per person for Ocean View, $225 per person for balcony, and that's for the Bella experience, by the way. And it's a good deal on the drinks package as well. So if you're interested, call me, 434-258-9264, or you can go to the website and try going through the booking engine on the website.
So that's today's solo cruise deal from Chillie's Cruises and from Cruise with Chillie and Nate. All right, that's going to end the news portion of today's show. Let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room. I'm trying to keep my voice from totally giving out. As you can tell, it's sliding downhill again. Haruna Bahoum says, hello, dear. How are you? Anytime somebody calls me dear, that's a sex bomber usually. Hot Air Tom is with us from the train. Maybe this will mean we'll see lots of whales when we go on our whale watch tour in a couple of weeks. Well, it's the right season for it. So yes, we should be very lucky that day. Wow, Gary Alderton Dirt's with us from 30,000 feet on his way back to Florida. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Otter says we are just departing Philly. Getting on up the road there, up the tracks. Bob's with us. Good morning, Bob. Gary says video not downloading. We'll have to watch when we land. Okay, thanks, Gary. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Those station pictures were at 5:15 a.m. The people showed up at 5:30. Okay, well, that's good to know. There's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. There's Kenneth. Good morning, everybody. Time you get to Boston, he's on his way, Kenneth. He's up in Philadelphia last checked. All right, here's another ex-person. Baba Shopes. Hunter says, Kenneth, I was just wondering where you were. Thought maybe stuck under a pile of hay. Yeah, well, that's a possibility. There's Roger from Jacksonville. Chillie, save your voice. Yeah, I'm going to. Kenneth says, nope, I'm working on the store. I want to try to get it ready before I leave. All right, guys, I'm going to take Roger's advice and go sit down and be quiet. By the way, I did promise that I was going to have a guest today. When we got together, yeah, it was actually early last evening, the voice was gone. So I put off trying until this afternoon. I don't know if I'll be able to tape an interview this afternoon or not, but we'll get the interview on here as soon as my voice will allow it this week, guys. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. Safe travels, Tom. Safe travels to you, Kenneth, as you go over to meet Tom here in the next day or two. In the meantime, guys, as always, stay safe.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the.
I didn't want to do that yet. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Man, I need a nap. See y'all tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.